Hello, friends. It is clean shaven James Stevenson here with Loki, bringing you a question. When Tesla starts offering robotaxi service in Austin in just a few days, will it be at low speed only? That's what Loki wants to know. He is going to go sit back in his bed as I share the Loki's bed cam with you. You can see him flop down in bed and yawn there. One longtime Tesla critic believes so. Missy Cummings, if you remember who she is, says Teslas will be driving exclusively at slow speed around Austin, Texas during the robotaxi rollout. We have seen other driverless services travel at low speeds. You'll see why she thinks so in this week's article. You can't go read it on your own. You have to subscribe to Automotive News. And when you do, you have to read a bunch of ads unless you watch this video, and I will narrate to you the article from Lawrence Iliff at Automotive News. Let me share my desktop with you and show you the format for this week's video, which is just a DM to myself. So here's what you'll see if you Google this article's headline: Tesla superfans and skeptics eagerly watch high-risk robotaxi rollout this month by Lawrence Iliff. Came out June 3rd. Probably the statute of limitations is up on this thing after 5 days. And it's newsworthy with Tesla launching robotaxi services. What I have done is grabbed screenshots and pasted them in here. So the caption says, Tesla expects its dedicated robotaxi, the Cyber Cab, to go into production next year, so don't get it confused. In the meantime, Tesla will be using Model Ys from Giga Texas, where they are made, one of the 4 places they're made, for its robotaxi service in Austin, Texas in June. So we're in June now, and June 12th is coming rapidly, and that's when there ought to be news from Tesla about the robotaxi service. All right, let's read this article. Tesla investors, fans, and critics are closely watching for the first signs of fully autonomous robotaxis on the streets of Austin, Texas this month as CEO Elon Musk either delivers on his decades-old promise of self-driving cars or postpones again. Reading is harder than people give it credit for. It's just 1 decade old so far, the promise. The stakes are high for the automaker as its vehicle deliveries stumble, falling 13% in the first quarter compared with the same period last year. There's no note here that says, hey, by the way, the Model Ys that we're talking about have been newly refreshed by Tesla. They shut down all 4 of the factories worldwide that make Model Y during Q1 for a few weeks to retool those lines to be able to make the newly refreshed year's model of the Model Y. And after you do that, you have to ramp it up for a while before you get to volume production, where you're profitable again, right? Net income fell 71%, Tesla said. Tesla deliveries also dropped 1.1% in 2024 compared with 2023. Is the last word you can't read here because the way DMs crop off the very bottom of images if they're the wrong shape. I think the rest of these are the right shape. Musk is trying to find more lucrative business lines through a robotaxi service that could span the globe, followed by Tesla humanoid robots. Tesla, Musk has said, is now a robotics and artificial intelligence company. So by now you will have been cut off if you try to go read this article because it's paywalled, but you're behind the paywall with me. The first critical hurdle on the journey from automaker to robotics starts in Austin with the planned launch of an autonomous ride-hailing service using a dozen or so Tesla vehicles, which will go head-to-head with current robotaxi provider Waymo. What does that have to do with robots? The cars Tesla makes are robots. They are autonomous robots. They are street-faring autonomous robots. Tesla fans on social media and at Wall Street investment banks are hoping for success since the Austin company could potentially scale faster than Waymo, given its car-making business. Yeah, not a lot of folks refer to Tesla as an Austin company, but it's right for Tesla to start its robotaxi service in the city in which they are headquartered, Austin, Texas. There will be many setbacks, but given its unmatched scale and scope globally, we believe Tesla has the opportunity to own the autonomous market, said Dan Ives, an analyst at Wedbush Securities and a Tesla bull. The march to a $2 trillion valuation for Tesla over the next 12 to 18 months has now begun. I've said the robotaxi rollout should spark a new era for Tesla, which has been battered in the market of public opinion by Musk's political activism and side job as an advisor to President Donald Trump. Musk left his White House role in late May, the article said on June 2nd, little knowing what would transpire over the days to follow, with Musk no longer an advisor to the president. We believe that Musk's days in politics are essentially over after this experiment that clearly morphed into brand damage for Tesla and took on a life of its own, I've said. Musk said he'll remain an informal advisor to Trump, but that has slim chances of occurring at this point. Who knows? Anything can happen with those two, right? In late May, Musk reiterated Tesla's target of launching the robotaxi service in June using 10 to 20 vehicles. Musk hasn't set a precise day for the formal launch, except he did, and it's June 12th, isn't it? The autonomous Teslas won't have safety drivers, but will have remote operators as a safety precaution, the meaning of which is disputed later in this article. So my opinion on the remote operators is that they are a failsafe. They are a backup in case they are needed if FSD isn't capable of completing a route, if a vehicle comes to a halt for some reason and cannot proceed. It'll notify the remote operators, who will be able to pick up and take over, as we've seen Waymo do remotely and with human drivers before. By the way, in the past, you can find video of Waymos stopping because somebody put a traffic cone in the road. And because that traffic cone wasn't on the high definition pre-mapping of what that road was supposed to look like, the Waymo would just stop until a Waymo employee drove out to it, got in the driver's seat, and drove it around the traffic cone before it could proceed on its route. So that's what I'm imagining, is that Tesla's remote operators will be in case they are needed to rescue a stranded Tesla. The other opinion you'll see shortly. The service will be limited geographically to the safest areas of Austin for autonomous vehicle operation, Musk said. For the past several days, Tesla has been testing, this is Elon talking, Tesla has been testing self-driving Model Y cars, no one in the driver's seat, on Austin public streets with no incidents, Musk said on X, May 28th. He characterized Tesla's timeline as a month ahead of schedule. Which would only be if the schedule was just June, like the month of June, and this milestone was achieved in May. Then, okay, you're a month ahead of schedule, but that's splitting hairs. He characterized Tesla's timeline as a month ahead of schedule. Skeptics of Tesla's autonomy ambitions point to Musk's track record, breaking a series of promises going back a decade. In one instance, Musk said in 2019 that Tesla would have 1 million robotaxis on the road by 2020 using its own vehicles. Friends, this host of this program will be one of the few to let you know that Tesla did have 1 million robotaxis on the road by the end of 2020. I was there and I counted. A robotaxi is a vehicle capable of driving itself driverlessly. Every vehicle Tesla has made since October 2016 has hardware 2 or better. Hardware 2.5 or better is capable of full self-driving without a driver in the driver's seat. That's what a robotaxi is. It's just waiting for the software update for it to go out and make you money collecting fares. At what point along the timeline did that vehicle become a robotaxi? Like, at what point does a microwave oven become a microwave oven? If the only thing it's lacking is the software that runs it, is it a microwave? Yes. At what point does a computer become a computer? If the only thing it's lacking is an operating system, is it a computer? Yes, it's a computer. Tesla did have over 1 million robotaxis on the road by the end of 2020. And some people just don't understand what Elon was saying. And if you think I'm taking it out of context or stretching the truth or making it sound like something it isn't, you haven't watched Elon's address on Autonomy Day closely enough or recently enough to remember that that is exactly how he described it. Tesla's failure to create a safe and reliable robotaxi 5 years ago, along with Musk's older predictions of having a vehicle drive cross-country by itself, hang over the Austin robotaxi launch, said Missy Cummings, a professor at George Mason University and former safety advisor for the NHTSA. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration in the U.S. Advisor. I'm not sure that's how you spell advisor. I think this should be an O before the R here. The other things Missy Cummings has been, and there's a few, but notably a Tesla Q member in good standing. If you looked at the people who Missy Cummings was following on Twitter, they were all Tesla Q generalissimos. She was following Brad Munkin. She was following Montana Skeptic. There was a long list that I found at the time of people I saw her following, and it was all Tesla Q members. Ed Niedermeyer, owner of the Tesla Death Watch. There's a lot of hype around this, said Missy Cummings. Elon Musk has been saying that for 12 years now? That they're coming every year. She said about Elon's autonomous Tesla predictions. Given Tesla's sky-high market valuation, he's under immense pressure to make it work. Well, some people think the market valuation is about right, and one of those people is the market, by which I mean people. The people who buy and sell Tesla stock have decided that its valuation is not sky-high. It is only the critics of Tesla's valuation who disparage the valuation as being sky-high. Some believe that equity to be undervalued at the present time, which is not trading advice, it's not financial advice, and you should do your own research. And this video is for entertainment purposes only, etc. Cummings said Tesla hasn't solved technical problems that prevented it from launching self-driving vehicles earlier, unlike Waymo, which used a variety of sensors, including LiDAR. Tesla relies entirely on cameras for perception, which is a less robust approach, she said. Oh, did I fail to mention the other thing about Missy Cummings? She used to be a board member for Swedish LiDAR company Veoneer. And it's what got her fired from her gig with NHTSA that she hadn't disclosed. Her conflict of interest, that she was on the board of directors of a LiDAR company and trying to criticize Tesla for not using a safe enough approach in their self-driving efforts because they weren't using LiDAR. As though LiDAR is necessary to operate a vehicle safely. Human beings don't have a LiDAR sense, therefore it is obvious that LiDAR is unnecessary to drive safely. During this demonstration in June, it's possible for the cars to go from point A to point B and not have any problems for a handful of trips, Cummings said. But Tesla's robotaxis are likely to go slow and rely heavily on remote teleoperators. She continued, they're going to be under very strict instructions to not let anything bad happen, Cummings said. You're going to see uber-conservative behavior and nothing that's going very fast, because the slower you go, the better teleoperation works. So Missy Cummings' expectation is that all of these vehicles are going to be teleoperated all the time. And that's the reason why they're going to go slow all the time, and why they're going to be ultra conservative all the time, and why, what else did she say? It'll be only a handful of trips. I hope Tesla produces facts and figures and video evidence of all of the above being false after the event begins. We'll see what we get. Maybe they will be ultra conservative in the beginning. Maybe Missy Cummings will be right. Cummings said that social media videos of Tesla owners using the latest version of its FSD software, which for private vehicles requires human supervision, raises red flags about its readiness for fully autonomous operation. Just a quick perusal of YouTube and all the full self-driving videos that have been posted there, where the car makes serious mistakes, there's no end to the problems they have not solved self-driving with cameras only, Cummings said. Well, either Tesla has or they have not solved full self-driving with cameras only. Cameras plus neural nets, which is kind of an important part and the most difficult part for any competitor to duplicate or replicate, because they don't have the real-world driving training footage Tesla has from the fleet out collecting data using the same cameras that they're going to use to operate the vehicles, right? Once Tesla's robotaxi service is working adequately in Austin, Musk has said the company will expand to cities such as San Francisco, Los Angeles, and San Antonio, and after that, to other countries as regulations allow. We'll start with probably 10 for a week in Austin, then increase it to 20, 30, 40, Musk said on CNBC in May. We'll probably be at 1,000 within a few months, and then we'll expand to other cities. He said. That's the end of the article. So with that, I guess I will ask you, dear viewer, maybe I'll bring Loki in for his thoughts on the matter as well. Loki, what do you think, buddy? Oh, you're under here. There you go. People want to see you and people want to hear your thoughts on this. So what do you think? Will there be only a handful of rides in Austin given out by Tesla's Model Y vehicles? Will they all be uber conservative? Will they be running at slow speeds exclusively? Will they all be teleoperated the whole time? If so, Missy Cummings is right. Will Tesla share statistics with us about how the driverless ride-sharing service is going in Austin? I hope they will. And what other comments do you have? Let me know in the comments below what's on your mind. What do you expect with Tesla's Austin rollout? And with that, I will thank you for watching the video. Remind you to like the video if you like the video. Give it a thumbs up on YouTube, or give it a heart. If you're on X, that'll let the algorithm recommend it to others like you who might also like it. Thank you to everybody who supports me, especially my executive producers, Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com. And I'll see you in the next one.